Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Friday, April 8th slate of NBA, and I'm adding an MLB play slate of games. I'm super excited to hop into it, but before I did just want to go ahead and address just a couple of things. If I have seemed a little bit off in my videos lately, I do apologize about that. I've had a couple of personal things that I have been going on here recently, just in my personal life, but I will be addressing that towards the end of the video. I'm starting to get over it, so just stick around for that if you guys are interested. Next, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are on the road to 7,000 subscribers as of right now. Crazy milestone. I want to be able to hit that by the end of April. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. It truly does mean so much to me. I really can't put it into words how much it means to me. And thank you so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. Truly does mean a lot. So, let's go ahead and dive into it. We'll do a quick recap as of yesterday. We did lose a little bit of money yesterday, but we did end up getting our player prop right. It just seems like these books are really, really sharp with these lines here towards the end of the year. And the end of the NBA season is the absolute worst time to bet. I'm really glad that it's close to being over. I'm really ready to start betting on playoffs, that's for sure. Teams will have a lot more to play for. Teams won't be taking the nights off. We won't have to pretty much guess on, who's going to win, who's not. But regardless, I'm still going to keep cranking out these videos. And now I'm going to be adding some MLB plays because I actually did really well on opening day. So I'm hoping that carries over today. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We'll do a quick recap at least. First, we did have Embiid under 3.5 assists versus Toronto. He did end up getting 2 assists in the first half, but then after that, he didn't get any more, so he did finish with 2. That one ended up working out for us. Then we had the 76ers plus 2. They blew a pretty big lead. I think it was like a 12, 13-point lead. They end up losing by 5, but at the end of the day, James Harden, he only had 13 points. I mean, there's no team that if one star ends up having a big night like Embiid did, versus a quality basketball team, they need everybody to be playing good, and James Harden was not. So that one we did not end up winning on. And then we did have Celtics plus 5.5. This one hurt, mostly just because even despite Jason Tatum being out, the line moved down to like plus 9.5. So if you got this at a later time or even at like plus 6.5, you ended up winning this bet. But unfortunately for me, Jaylen Brown turns the ball over with like 16 seconds left on the clock. He dribbles it right off of George Hill's foot. George Hill gets a layup, is then goaltended by Daniel Tice. And then after that, it just goes downhill from there. Obviously, they don't foul because they know that they're going to lose. And they basically just gave up. So Celtics ended up losing by 6. So ends up losing right on the hook. But I'm not going to sweat it too much. I still think it was a pretty good bet. So let's go ahead and dive into today's plays, though. Our first play of the day, we're going to be taking the Atlanta Hawks plus 4 here versus Miami at minus 110 odds. Now, the Hawks, they have covered in 6 of their last 7 games. So they have started to really play basketball, like really good basketball here at the right times. They are trying to make that late playoff push. They're trying to get ready for the playoffs. Obviously, they were the team that had a little bit of a Cinderella run last year. And I think that they're looking to make some noise here in the playoffs, at least make it a difficult first round for whoever they do end up playing against. And at home this year, well, Miami, they've been really solid too. I can't even sit there and say that Miami's been bad because they haven't been. They've been really, really good. But one of the only spots that they do struggle at is actually at home. They are just 20-20 against the spread at home. And as a favorite, they're 28-28-1 against the spread as a favorite. And as a home favorite, they're 16-19 against the spread. So they're literally the only spot that this Miami Heat team struggles in is at home. So hopefully that does give us a little bit of an edge here versus a hungry Hawks team that is trying to make a little bit of a run in the playoffs here. Also, Miami, as of the time I'm recording this video, so last night, they did end up securing the 1 seed. Now, I think that this is huge for a couple different reasons. First of all, we do see a lot of players on the injury report. Basically, I do think that a lot of these players are going to be ruled out. They secured the 1 seed. They're for sure going to be that 1 seed, especially since Philadelphia did end up losing and the Celtics ended up losing. So with both of those teams losing, they're for sure the 1 seed. So I think they could, kind of give this game up. It's not really going to matter to them. I think they are going to rest some of their players for the playoffs. And so I'm hoping that the Hawks can pull through for us for sure. But like I said, they secured the 1 seed. They don't have too much to play for, whereas the Hawks, like I said multiple times, they are starting to get ready for the playoffs. So I really like that play. And Atlanta, they are tied with the Nets for the 8th spot. And so if Atlanta ends up overtaking that 8th spot, then they only have to win 1 game to be able to make it into the actual playoffs, as opposed to 2, which can be huge for sure. So that is going to be our first play of the day. Hawks +4 versus Miami at -110 odds. And then our second play of the day, we're going to be taking the Phoenix Suns team total over 112.5 points versus the Utah Jazz at -110 odds. Now, the Suns, they haven't, if you look at their most recent games, they haven't been a great scoring team. They have only hit this over in 1 of their last 4 games, but they've been resting a lot of guys. Last game versus the Clippers, they didn't have Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, or Jay Crowder. So they were out there running a starting lineup with JaVale McGee in it, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Payne, I believe. So they did not have their starting lineup whatsoever. They didn't have a whole lot of scoring out there on the floor, but it looks like all those guys are going to be back. And obviously it is a good game here versus the Jazz, another solid opponent here. And versus the Jazz, in their last 5 games or 5 matchups versus the Jazz, the Suns, they have actually hit this over in 4 of them. So 80%, I'll definitely take my odds with that one. In the last 3 games, both of these teams have been top 10 in pace as well. So they've really been getting up and down. Of course, the Phoenix Suns, they are 6th fastest pace in the entire NBA in the last 3. And Utah, they are the 9th fastest pace in the entire NBA in the last 3 games. So they have been really, really solid. They've been getting up. Both these teams have been getting up and down, giving up a lot of possessions to opposing teams. So I think we do see more of that once again. And in the Utah Jazz's last 6 games, they have had 3 teams actually hit this over, and 3 teams have hit the under. So it's pretty much a 50-50 shot. So I'm going to be taking my odds here with it. So we're going to be taking the Suns team total over 112.5 points here versus the Utah Jazz at -110 odds. Now, that's all I'm going to be doing for the NBA, just because there are literally no player props up besides KD and Kyrie, and I really don't want to force anything. It's going to be weird for those players, so I just don't really want to take a shot with it. So those are my 2 official NBA plays for now. I may add another one. I haven't decided yet. But here's our MLB play. We're going to be taking the Blue Jays -1.5 versus the Rangers at +110. Now, I think this run line, for the starting games, a lot of the run lines are 1.5 in favor, obviously, of the favored team. So I think this is a perfect time to hop onto it. Obviously, Jose Barrios is going to be pitching here for the Blue Jays, who's obviously been a pretty solid pitcher here in years past. But the Rangers, and I know the Rangers have made a lot of moves, and I'm very excited to see what the Rangers can do. But last year they did have the 29th in the entire MLB for batting average. So I do think that they are going to struggle here trying to get things working again. And in the last 3 matchups here between these 2 teams, here's been the outcomes. Blue Jays won 5-0, Blue Jays won 10-0, and Blue Jays won 10-2 in the last 3 matchups versus the Rangers. So they do have a pretty good history versus the Rangers. So I think that we see a little bit of value there as well. Also, the Blue Jays, they are at home in this game. And I know this is a different Blue Jays team than what they had last year, but last year they were 40-28 on the run line as a home favorite last year. So I think that, they're a very solid team at home, and especially as a home favorite. And for the Rangers, they are going to be pitching John Gray out there. Now, John Gray, I do think, is a solid pitcher overall, but he did only pitch 20 games last year. So we could be seeing a lot of rust on him, and it might take him a little bit of time to be able to fully adjust once again coming into the new season. So I do think we see a little bit of value there. So that's going to be our MLB play of the day. Blue Jays -1.5 versus the Rangers at +110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. I did just want to go ahead and say really quick the thing that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So if you guys are just coming for my picks, you guys can just go ahead and click off of it, I did just want to address something because I've been going back and watching my videos, and I can just tell that I'm not really myself. And so I did want to address that because I'm sure that you guys have noticed that some of my ratings and stuff have gone down. And so I did just want to address it really quick. So me and my girlfriend for the past 4 years, we did end up splitting up on Saturday. So it has been a little bit tough for me. Just truthfully, it's just been tough. Like I said, we've been together for 4 years, and now the fact that we are done, it's just been difficult. And so I truly don't mean to be different. Like, if I have been different on camera, it's truly not intentional. I'm perfectly fine. It's just, that's just been something that's been going through the back of my head. So I did just want to get that out there. I wanted to express that, but I am getting better. I'm okay. So thank you guys so much for still showing support. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, we're on the road to 7,000. Make sure you guys are subbed. This is King Center signing out. Peace.